Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here and we are live and we are here for the much anticipated and maybe a wee bit overdue part two of the Sorare 27 update. I am Quinny, of course. Fist bumps to you all on arrival. Good to see you. We have got a lot to get stuck into. I have had a glance across this. This will be basically an unboxing, reaction, breakdown, all that good stuff that we're going to get stuck into as per usual with these announcements. I've been out all day, so I've not really got right across this before we kick off with it. But I have, kind of seen some of the main bits and pieces, but we'll be getting right under the bonnet. And the main questions we've all been kind of wrestling with, chewing over here on the channel has been what strategies to set up, what strategies will work, what strategies are worth keeping on, yada, yada, all that kind of stuff. So we hopefully should have all the answers to that. So we'll have some early thoughts and first takes, so I've got a wee door to close, on Sorare 27 strategy, market attacks or not. A lot of people before we got this were saying they would be mainly classic players. So we'll see how that develops through this one as well as any other revelations that we've got around all things prize pool. Good to see you all. Fist bumps on arrival. Be sure to smash the like button and get hyping in on this one as we're live and loud at 5:30 on a Wednesday, which is not really a time we normally hit live on the channel. So thanks to all of you that do catch us here. Good to see you all. But yeah, I think the first thing, also I've been out today, but also my battery died around, I'm going to guess 3 o'clock or so. So when I got my phone back on, this is what I was greeted with, was checking out the Twitter, checking out the timeline to see the kind of headline acts on everything. So a major launch, reward boost to kick off the season, full competition structure, complete prize pool breakdown, a few improvements to what we first announced, early access calendar, okay? First little thread, we've got one of the partnerships we'd anticipated didn't land, so we put that budget straight back into the season, acting on your part one feedback. So we're going to get now deeper rare arena rewards. So that is what we used to call leaderboard or pro or, whatever. So cool. And more essence to more managers. Cool. Classic rare cards get a reward boost in pro mode, which is fine. I'd rather it was a score boost personally, but fine if they want to do reward bonus, whatever. Lower pro step 5 targets on Bundy and La Liga. Bigger Jupiler Pro League arena prize pools. And I know from when I spoke to them last week, they wanted, because the Jupiler Pro League is actually now bigger this year, so they wanted it to be more in line with Eredivisie. So those Jupiler fans, the hardcores on the Sorare universe or whatever, getting a bit of love here. Leaderboard launch boosts, including super rare and unique for the first time. So we'll see what happens with that. New leagues and new player pools. This is, I think, a bit of a disappointment around this, to be honest with you. When we had the preview announcement or the part one announcement, I forget where it was exactly, but it's been kind of writing on the wall for a little bit that we're meant to be getting new leagues, and this is lackluster, I would say. We were all like thinking Saudi, Greece, maybe ramp up Italy, and there was a few other little maybe the summer calendar element got a little bit of coverage. There was a lot of theories and whatever that goes out there. Now, the championship in England is fine. I think that's been long on the wish list of Sorare scouts and managers for as long as I can remember, certainly. But the rest of Portugal, as a new league, when I remember Nicholas saying it like only a few weeks ago or a month ago, whatever it was, like we will have new leagues, and it was with excitement. This, I don't know, this feels like a bit of a letdown, to be honest with you, a bit lackluster. Your favourite leagues are even stronger, so League One now gets all of them, plus some new clubs, which is cool. J-League has got a new format, that's all set up to go. A word on the English top flight players. You'll keep playing English top flight players on Sorare 27 with dedicated competitions with their own hot streaks, arenas, and best prize pools, now through a deal with the International Players Association. Real players, premium cards, same gameplay. We have developed an amazing relationship with the Premier League. We are working towards a new agreement While the process may take some time, we're excited to move forward with the 26-27 season, with the International Players Association enabling us to deliver full UK coverage for both the first and second division player cohorts. Our commitment to offering a premium product built on official licenses remains intact, and we've recently renewed long-term partnerships with major organisations like PSG, Bundesliga, and many more. So they've said kind of twice here, once previously and once already somewhere else here, that one of our partnerships hadn't kicked on, right? So I find this like just a wee bit confusing. Like, is the one partnership that didn't land the Premier League, or is it something else? Because this says that the Premier League, or the English top division, whatever we're needing to call it now, will be the biggest prize pool, will be the biggest hot streak, etc. So I don't imagine it's that. So I think that lends itself to maybe being a new league that didn't come yet or whatever. So I think, again, this is, I'm not saying the promises were massive, but I think this has been one of the biggest gaps on expectation to delivery for these elements here, like the leagues and stuff, you know. So thoughts and feelings from you guys in the chat will be good to see how it all fits together. More leagues, player pools are celebrated with their own dedicated competition in the pro mode and across all the arenas. So we're going to get one region now, which is called Contender. We're going to get one Contender region. SPFL is going to get its own league structure. The J League has its own league already, as did Belgium, the Bundesliga, England, Spain, and France. So the new league competitions that we're getting is Portugal, the Championship in England, and the SPFL, which is kind of fine, isn't it? Again, if this is what was meant by more leagues, I don't really know this is what we all anticipated, to be honest with you. You can probably hear it in my voice. I was expecting new stuff. I was expecting some new shiny toys, you know, and there's maybe some new toys. How shiny they are, again, we can talk about it. I think for the prize pool, it's maybe not something I've thought about from getting my first glance across this, but the Championship is 24 teams. Half of them are in and out the Premier League regularly. So many of the players are in and out the Premier League regularly, never mind the rest of European and world football. Academy prospects, up-and-coming talents, under-the-radar guys, you name it. Even Sorare heroes that move to England, quite a lot of them end up in the Championship. So there's maybe a bit of a nice prize pool boost for crafting and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. Oh no, we have two regions, it seems. So interesting. Okay, so we have Contender, Limited and Rare, which only has Austrian Bundesliga, Croatia, Ligue 2, and Bundesliga 2, or Zwei, or whatever it is in German. That feels like, again, a bit of a lackluster region, I can't lie. And then for rest, so we've already seen it earlier that we've got a league-specific structure for the Championship in England, Second Division England, J League, and SPFL. That will be at Limited and Rare only. Otherwise, it's Super Rare and Unique. They're all tossed into this region, essentially, you know. Now, I don't get the real reason to differentiate SPFL, J League, and Second Division England. You know, it doesn't make. I don't know why there's not synergy for that. Maybe it's something I don't understand. Maybe you guys can explain it to me. I'll catch up with you guys and see the chat flying away. I just kind of want to get through the thread. We'll go through the actual announcement. You know, we'll really get across this. By the time I'm done with this, I want to know everything that's here and be really fully of, you know, minded of how we're going to shape up with all this stuff when it comes to content strategy, everything, you know. So yeah, I can't really reconcile the logic for that right now. Contender brings several leagues together in Limited and Rare, and it's playable in both Pro Mode and Arena. Cool. As the only pro competition spanning multiple leagues, it uses Taylor's step clock. So again, it's got that step clock thing. Super Rare and Unique, more competitions are allowed. Cool. Again, prize pools, full prize pools for every competition, hot streaks and leaderboards are here. Right, we'll open that in case we want to come to it in a minute. Now the boosts to launch the season. I'm not sure if I'm ready for boosts. Early access. Here's the full picture. Okay, right, fine. I'm not sure I'm ready for boosts just yet, right? Let's have a look at what the full prize pool thing is that they've laid out for us. So we've got English competition, which I'm guessing is the Premier League, because English second division competition is down here. Contender, rest of the world, everything. Okay, so this is for Limited and Rare combined, yeah? And the number on the left is if you play full limited, and the number on the right is if you play full rare, essentially. So with England, the main streak step is 6 here. The other one at 550 is a pure jackpot thing, which nobody's really going. You have the option to play for it or not. We've went through that in more detail. We'll repeat it in more detail, and our piece of content's not really relevant to this today. But it tops out at 20 Gs. If we want to forget about that for a second, it tops out at 4 Gs for rare and 2 for limited, which is all right, still up there, isn't it? For the first 4 matches, it's boosted. I think that's like trebled, essentially. Arena prize pool. So this is for the leaderboards. So we can see the manager payouts for cash. At rare, go to top 200. I can't remember what limited was in the first instance, but that still being at 50 feels a bit shallow. But up to 200 in rare feels better than what it was. 5 Gs at the top, which is cool. A lot of essence payouts, some XP also. Super Rare and Unique looks okay as well at a glance. I didn't really study that last time, so I can't really comment on any changes. For France, by comparison to the Premier League, its top streak is 1,500 to 3 grand, which is like a third less. These are 75% essentially of what Premier League is. Bundesliga. Where's La Liga? Where's La Liga? Does La Liga not have a streak? Oh, no, they do. It's here. Okay, so Bundesliga and La Liga are kind of grouped together, and they are at the same step as France, but it feels like their score is 470. France's score is 460, and England's score is 450. Interesting. Yeah, so they're kind of grouped together on that reason. I think they could have maybe ordered these slides a little bit cleaner, because that kind of scared me for a moment there. But so this is essentially Champ Arena, is what we get? Or do these get an arena each? Bundesliga, La Liga, etc. I'm not sure. Then there's the boosts. Cool. Here's arena price. Yeah, so is this like is they put the wrong picture here? Because here it is here. Limited rare, super rare. Liga and Bundesliga and La Liga. And then here it is again. So I think I'm either missing something or that's a duplicate, and I think something's been put in the wrong place. Boosted rewards. I see I'm not really ready to digest that yet. Eredivisie and Jupiler. Top score is 440. No, actually. Oh, it's this. So it goes to 460, but there's no jackpot potential. That's exclusive to Champ, is it? This is the hot streak for Eredivisie, Jupiler, and Portugal. Okay. Interesting. I'll take a wee breath and catch up with you guys in a moment. Arena, we only have Jupiler and Eredivisie for here. Top 150 at rare pays out cash. It all seems pretty fine. Hot streak prize pool. This is Dutch Jupiler. Yeah, do we not have that already? Rare reward boost. Yeah, it feels like there's duplicates on this. 3 to 6. Am I tripping? Hot streaks. 3 to 6, 5 to 10. 3 to 6, 5 to... Yeah. There is like... There's duplicate slides in here. It's a bit wonky, isn't it? Then we have an arena prize pool for Portugal only. Top 100, by the way, Portugal looks all right in terms of the prize pool. Doesn't look too bad at all. Scottish Premiership and the second division England are the same. Okay. Interesting. So top streak, a bag of sand. The early ones are a bit more rubbish, aren't they? 2 and 4 and stuff, you know. Okay, that's kind of fine, I suppose. SPFL leaderboard is all right. And then it's boosted again. I'm not ready to look at boosts. Hot streaks are here again. And then second division England. It's decent. It pays out better than Scotland. J-League streak is about the same. J-League Arena is the same as Scotland. Interesting. Hot Streaks contender. So if you're in that little region, 470 is the top score, pays out maximum a grand, which is in line with the rest of the kind of rural ones that we've seen a moment ago. And then the regional prize pool is pretty big, to be honest with you. I don't think it's that great at the top, but it tails back quite well at a glance. And then the boosts again. The rest of the world, this is super rare and unique only, which is weird. I don't know why it's just not called rest of the world as a region, end of story. So interesting. There's some more cash added to that leaderboard there. As you can see, between 51st and 75th, you get the choice to take cash or essence, depending on where you sit, exactly how much. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let me take a wee breath and catch up with you guys, see what you are saying. There's a bunch of here live and loud. Love to see it. Smash the like button. You guys are the heroes and the legends. Can't say I'm surprised. Yeah, so I'd seen this when I had my... Okay, so we don't have Denmark either. Denmark and Turkey are gone, which... is it mentioned here somewhere? I think it was mentioned quite quickly when I read through this. So Liga Portugal, and these are all the clubs we're going to get. Second Division England, Top Flight England, Ligue 1, Ligue 2. We've still got some Ligue 2 clubs, so that's cool for them. Update, yeah, it's quite early. Update on Turkish and Danish clubs. Turkish and Danish clubs won't be licensed on Sorare at Sorare 27 launch. So doors open. As much as we value these partnerships, we weren't able to land terms for the new season that fit the Sorare 27 gameplay. Again, are these one of the licenses that didn't land? Is that what we're talking about here? Was there meant to be maybe a Turkish division that would have paid out all the same sort of numbers we've seen maybe for Eredivisie and Jupiler, and now that that's not required, or it's not, I don't know. So yeah, this feels like a blow, to be honest with you. This feels like a loss. The Danish clubs weren't, how many are we talking about? 2 or 3, and I know the Turkish clubs weren't massive either, but good stacks, good leagues, and made that, gave the region a bit of feel to it. It doesn't feel like it's anything within their control. As they say, they've tried to do stuff and it's not happened. Competition overview on Sorare 27. More leagues and player pools are celebrated with their own dedicated comps. Yeah, we kind of explored all that. Let me catch up with you guys, right? So yeah, can't say I'm surprised. Have been removed. What leagues would you recommend playing as someone who just played the Danish league, Tom? I'll need to kind of maybe get my brain back onto that in a minute. What to do instead of that if you've been doing that, because the fun thing about those leagues, Turkey especially, is you could get wacky players that just transfer in and some kind of super squads. And Denmark was a wee bit more kind of cute in that sense of because of the big winter break, they never got that expensive, and it's a very football technical focused league, so you could get some good AA quite easily out of those players if you knew your onions. So it depends on what part of them you liked, I suppose, and that kind of will help us draw a parallel somewhere else. It's not even the whole Portugal. I think they said somewhere that they're going to get the rest of them, or there's another couple to be announced. So last year we had, or regularly we've had Porto, Benfica, Sporting, but last year we also had Braga and Famalicão, who are not Famalicão, sorry, Guimarães, who are not here. So I would expect those two are probably not far behind. And if they've got the full league set up as a competition here, it's hard to imagine they maybe don't know already that 2 or 3 of them are coming down the pipe. It's just about an email getting returned or whatever. I made a joke when we got colours that we didn't care about the kits and would do AI cards for sort of 27. Yeah, good shout, mate. I remember you saying that. Challenger Essence turning into Neutral Essence as a joke. Did it say that somewhere? I've not got to that yet. James, good to see you, my man. This is why I don't get to do half announcements and end up having to go back on themselves. Whereas if we didn't get told things, we wouldn't have known. Yeah, I suppose. Like, I don't know why, but expectations were new leagues. Yeah, expectations were the rest of the prize pool would show that this is actually just as big as last season, if not maybe bigger in some ways, because of the way that they're boosting rewards and the way they're kind of massaging the how you win money and how you win essence and how it's all kind of works in together. So yeah, I don't know why, but like Portugal being the new league, and then no Denmark and Turkey and stuff, it just feels really like, I don't know. Afternoon, Chief. Good to see you. Josh, it is quite elaborate. It is pretty elaborate now, I think, isn't it? I think when you're looking at this, it's very easy for them to get. Like, the images are a wee bit over the place here. And I don't really hold it against whoever had to do this because there is a lot here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how many slides are here, but I think this is up like massively on last season in terms of how many graphs we had to have to see what the prize pools were and stuff. So I kind of get that. Return of the big head cards. Oh no, it's not going to be big head cards, is it? Nah, I don't think they'll do big heads. I think they'll do like World Cup stuff where it'll just be like no badges and sponsors on it. It'll be like Manchester Blue and stuff like that, is my early thought. Can't wait to be on the third streak SPFL and win $2. Is that what the third streak was? Of course, yes, there's 2 steps before cash, isn't there? Yeah. I'm sure that I haven't even looked at the boosts yet. I've been kind of looking at the top end of things. I always kind of look at the top end. I'm not really too bored about the journey payouts because is this the where's no, it's the boost. This is at regular. Yeah, so streak 3. $4.10, man. Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. No two ways about it. Yeah, see the issue. Yeah, so you're worried about Ewan McBride SPFL Super Rare Unique, which is in this mega, what do they call it, rest of the world thing with the J League. I don't know why it doesn't have its own league competition at Super Rare and Unique. If it's the same with J, if they're going to do that at Rare, I don't know how there's not the. Again, I can't. Like this Portuguese league has like 8 clubs in it. You know what I mean? So if they're able to do Super Rare and Unique for that, because you've got to imagine a huge part of their accounting is we will sell X hundreds of thousands of La Liga Portugal cards is the forecast. So we can afford to pay X amount of prizes throughout the season. We'll give it its own competition because there's the volume of cards, there's the amount of revenue that we generated directly from that competition. So I don't get how Portugal gets it, but not the Championship in England, J League and SPFL. It doesn't really make sense to me. Yeah, we can't call it the Premier League anymore. That's right. Yeah, I think I'm right in that, isn't there? Conspiracy theory time. I wonder if there's no license for the Prem and Champ because of this season is a big crackdown on gambling sponsorships. I don't think so. Because it is like they hope to, as I said with Turkey and everything, they have left. I think if it was like definitive, I don't think they can really lie about that stuff. If it is like the goalposts have changed, something's moved on, I don't think they could out and out. Maybe easy to find on that tweet because they did mention it somewhere. Yeah, here it's here. And are working towards a new agreement. Yeah. So I don't think they could say that if they weren't. But again, I don't know. With only 9 teams, Portugal might be broken. It's hard to imagine anyone outside of Porto Sporting or Benfica winning it. Really excited for the SPFL. Only reason is because I know the league very well, and your channel will really help. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, and I was thinking about that with the other channels. Like, oh, if we have like an SPFL centric competition, it'll be really good for content, and I'm looking forward to that. I kind of like that angle on it. I'm not sure how great it is for actual, like, especially for Liam and McBride. If you're playing with supers and U's, like, for everyone else to get a league specific comp and you're stuck into still a contender situation, the rest of the world deal, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Rob, good to see you. This year, the Turkish League will participate in European competitions with a total of 6 teams. It's a league that has drawn attention thanks to its transfers. They probably asked for too much money. Yeah, maybe. Can see that. Turkish teams do love the revenue. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Reese. Like, New leagues are coming, and it's Portugal, and we don't have Denmark and Turkey. It just doesn't matter, expectations, and whoever has decided to communicate that has made a poor error, I think. I don't know when anyone. This is sincerely just my first thoughts and feelings as we open this up and get stuck into it. I would play Portugal, yeah, but that makes a lot of sense actually, Rico, doesn't it? I like the Scotland cards, and I bought a Modric and I bought a Ronaldo. I like some of them. I do like some of them. Can't wait for Brian Broby. We're side red and whites. SR maybe not the best move. It might still change, mate. It might still change. I'd keep your eye on that, to be honest with you. We get English second division is new. Yeah, that is new. That is pretty. It's maybe just kind of getting lost in the washing right now. Because, like I say, obviously we've still got the classics and whatever, but where will the classics play? It's only going to be this rest of the world region, isn't it? Do we have the leaderboard for that? Oh, it'll be classic, won't it? Do we have classic leaderboards on this? Or is that in the first part of the announcement? Somebody said something about Essence going neutral from contender. Where is that? Is that in the main announcement? Yeah, this is only the in-season prize pools we have. Limited and rare. This is all the in-season stuff. Yeah, there's no mention of classic, really, is there? Group together a competition in both pro mode with dedicated hot streaks. Again, this just makes no sense as a region. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. And describing it as several leagues is a bit creative, isn't it? It's super rare and unique also makes a bit more sense. Oh, Jupiler's in here too. I just realised. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. Ignore me. MLS and K are still the same. Yeah, where launch boost rewards off to a flying start. 2 and 3x boosts, right, fine. Anytime entry, yep, we know about that stuff from last time. Contender boost starts the first weekend. And off we go. Arena's got a double boost. Different time scales for the boost because of competitions and stuff. And then the early access calendar, Essence conversion. As announced in our winter gameplay announcement, your Sorare 26 Essence will convert to Sorare 27 Essence using a degressive formula. The transition happens on Monday, 20th of July. You can simulate your conversion here. I recommend you all check that out if you've got a lot of Essence stashed. The more Essence you have, the more you lose. So if you don't have much, it doesn't really affect you actually much, that, to be honest. 2 things to note. MLS and K won't convert, as those are mid-season. Same for your Global Cup Essence, which will become 27 All-Star Essence. Challenger Essence. The Challenger competition isn't part of the 27 structure, so your Challenger flavoured Essence will convert into 27 neutral. I don't think that's an issue, really. Unique Essence, as we shared in part 1, a review of a number of conversations with unique managers. Unique Essence is being removed from prize pools and from crafting. Going forward, managers competing in unique classic comps can win cash, market credits, and super rare essence. The unique essence you already hold will be converted into super rare essence. This is part of the global essence transition. Interesting. So does that mean they're going to sell every unique then? That might be something, by the way. If they're going to sell every unique and launch them all so that enough of them are out there, that's maybe an interesting little zig and zag one for some of you guys. I don't know. Yeah, Classic was only the first announcement. Yeah, they didn't reiterate it here, Josh, did they? Classic not changing. So, but I mean, like your Turkey and your Danish guys, they're not going into Contender Classic, are they? Or there is no Contender Classic? Or do we have Champ Classic? Let's go to the first part of the announcement because I'm now losing my marbles a wee bit here with what we know and what we don't. This one. So, like I said at the beginning, the main thing I'm always thinking about is playing the game, strategy, all the rest of it. And I think for any existing players, the first thing I've got is just this wave of disappointment, I guess. Like, this was all kind of fine. I didn't really mind much of the first announcement. I thought it was all quite okay. I understood it all, and it was like, okay, cool. And I can't remember. It's just the whole rare limited thing needed addressed, which they've done, which is great. Okay, so this is it. Yeah, there's this, and there's under 23. Oh no, we have champion. Okay, so we do have champion, under 23, and all star. No divisions. And yeah, unique only gets market credits and cash or whatever. In essence, it's super rare. Oh, they said that. Nice, thank you very much. It's a good point, Josh. I think like the reason to play pro is, yeah, like let's be real, right? Let's be real about this. You've got a disposable ink, you've got a disposable budget, yeah, for fun. We all do, okay? Limited and rare Premier League cards. Because like streak 6 as it is now isn't something a lot of people actually really aim for. Of course, it's in the reckoning, and as you get closer to it, you might reinforce or might double down or get some extra firepower in. But most of the time, you're building your stacks, you're building your strategies to, if I hit streak 3 a few times, if I hit streak 4 once, that kind of idea. The cost of doing that at limited and rare. Now, Premier League's a bit weird. I'm not sure how that's going to go with it being unlicensed or being player licensed this year. But the competitor to that is sets. The same budget in sets. Hitting the G on sets, hitting that road to glory is pretty feasible. There's going to be some good opportunities around here. So I do think instant access or early access, sorry, I don't think it's going to be as in high demand as it's been in other years. I'm doing Famalicão and Visu. Nice. And work it into a sporting team. Love that. If you have less than a bag of sand, going for pro's a mistake in the eyes of Rico, man. Yeah, it's a kind of, it is a funny one to balance up in that regard, because yeah, like how much are you going to spend in Premier League limited or rare, France limited or rare, La Liga or Bundesliga limited or rare? Leaderboard's a bit different if you were to have a power stack and a big collection, but again, you're going to need to pay up for that. Yeah, man, I don't know how. I was going to say I don't know how I feel about this, and what I mean by that is in the sense of, you know, like how would it have been made better? I don't know. I just feel like there's been a real disconnect between expectation and delivery here. SPFL, that'll be fun. Okay, what else is there in the actual announcement? Can we go back to the actual announcement and pick through it a bit more? Because, like I said, I want to kind of know everything that's going on here. We've not looked at the boosts yet, right? Let's look at early access. This is something that's pretty important to know going forward. So SPFL comes out in 6 days. Yay. So glad I'm going to need my wallet ready for that. Croatia the day after, as well as Austrian Bundesliga. The day thereafter, Liga Portugal. 4 days later, Eredivisie. Day later, Jupiler. Day later, second divisions in Japan. I think Japan's an interesting one with their league situation resetting. English Championship players come out on the 30th of July. La Liga on the 3rd of August. I think, you know, these champ ones are going to be real interesting because I think there'll be a lot of Sorare players that are just totally cool with Eredivisie and Jupiler Like those guys are cool. They're going again, and that's a real kind of strong element of the community. I think, see, once these early accesses have went, by the time you do get to La Liga, Bundesliga, some people might not have kept their powder dry. And some of those, especially with the boosted stuff early going, I do think there's going to be opportunities here, because this isn't a great announcement that makes everyone happy. This isn't going to be an announcement that uniformly gets everyone rushing to the market, I don't think. And in turn, that will just open up some opportunities that will then kind of, like, oh, if it's that price, then it looks a lot better. That kind of thing happens, doesn't it? Are there still classic arenas with paid essence entry? Great question. I'm not too sure. I think that stays. I'm not sure though, actually. Rico Man will be all over Derby, of course. Is there classic arenas? Special events? I don't think so. I don't think there's any essence entry arenas. In saying that, but we do currently have it in the structure, and there's no word of it going, so maybe it is still here. Pro. Yeah, I think it will. I think you will still have it. I'm not sure it's been explicitly spoke about, but this is only a bit, so. Nice, Rico, man. Love the loopholes. For example, this season you could pay 300 essence for Serie A Arena. Maybe we see it for the Turkish league. Nah. Nice idea, Joe. I don't think so, though. I think if there's no licenses, there's no reward pool. That's the way Sorare kind of do it, and kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I don't think I've got any MLS in season. Yeah, no New York City in action yet. Do you know, I missed the bloody deadline for All-Star to get my MLS guys in. I only had my World Cup guys set. So I've missed out on that. I was actually half thinking about that. Maybe do a wee 100 essence 260 entry. I've got Jardim as well. That's fun. And Keylor Navas. Cleveland's really cheap. Burke Risa. Yaman. Let's go with Tolu. Yeah, I think once I see that, yeah, but these are 3 in the morning. I'm not going to be staying up for that. I'm probably not going to bother. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this. I think I love the being able to win more stuff and whatever, but I just don't get the structure. I don't get why the regions are worked the way they do. I don't get a lot of it. And they've said there's a license missing. And they're so we didn't renew. Is that Turkey? Is that Denmark? Is that the Premier League? Was it something new? Was it Serie A? You can't do right for doing wrong sometimes with announcements. So I know we can sit here and say should have done this at this point and then announce this or whatever. But again, equally, you can say that with almost anything, I think. But yeah, I think when I read through this, as much as Portugal's cool, right? Fine, bring it on. The money all looks great for the most part. I think though that was only SPFL was step 3 to get cash, around step 2. Is everything else step 2? No, J League is step 3 as well. As is contender. It's a tiering system they want to do fine, but again, the super again, I'm more confused than anything. What is your plan for SPFL? Because I don't think doing one team only will be any good. Well, because of content, I was going to try and do a bit of an SPFL dream team kind of line of content this season, if you get me, on the Scottish Football Daily channel, probably. Or maybe here, who knows, I don't know. But I was planning on doing some stuff. If we got a league, I thought, oh, well, that'll be nice for that wee channel, play some fantasy football over there, which I'll be happy to do. But as I say, I don't know, there's something about it that's missing. I don't think if they told us more info, I would feel any better. I just don't get, like, why is this still... I think they should have, like, a rest of the world region. If they want to call it a contender or challenger, I couldn't care less. I don't get why it's different. It's super rare and unique, and why they can't do super rare SPFL and that kind of thing, J League and whatnot. Is it? Yes, I suppose K League had super rare with no cash prizes. Is it to that effect? I don't know. I think if that's the case, then I don't know why you're not just keeping it together at rare. The thing that Sorare's been doing for the last 2 or 3 seasons is to make things easier and obvious. Like, so it works like this in limited, so it works like that in rare, it works like this in common, so it works like this in pro. Yeah. So, where are we at? We all have classic cards, right? Everyone who's here has classic cards. And I think that's why I was pretty interested in the classic prize pool we had here, because I think a lot of us will be sitting there thinking, no matter what you're, like, we've had that chat earlier about like playing sets over pro, which I think is a strategy consideration for a lot of people right now. But regardless of whether you do that or not, we're all, or a lot of us are going to have, oh, Rico, man, you bring up a great question. Now, match day 1 of the SPFL season. Oh my God, I should not say this. Match day 1 of the SPFL season, every game kicks off at a different time and every game is on Sky. So it's pretty good for streaks. Match day 1 anyway. I think there's a real push to try and market the SPFL better. So I would expect that maybe not to be a continuous pattern throughout the season, because there will be some clubs, hopefully, that play European football. But the first match day, everyone plays on a different... Somebody plays Friday, Celtic play Monday. Everyone plays at a different kickoff time. 6 games, 12 teams. It's not too hard for them to do. But you'll probably get that kind of thing. Regularly, there would be like the Saturday 3 o'clocks. Celtic or Rangers could play early on Saturday, and then you get a bunch of games on Sunday. Traditionally, there's not really been any Friday night games in Scotland yet that I can think of in the top flight. I think they have in the second flight, second tier. And Mondays, there's been a few of them, but they're very rare. Saturday, Sunday spread for the most part. Yeah, Michael brings a good point up there as well. So we're all going to play classics and try and hustle out some essence out of it, aren't we? But the essence we're able to bring out is just All-Star, Champ, or U23. And these are SO7s with 2 subs, yeah? Portugal, barely any 2 games at the same time. Yeah, Portugal does run out over a weekend, doesn't it? Because it is like, oh, Benfica are playing Sunday night and so-and-so is playing Monday night. And yeah, Portugal is dead spread out over the weekend, Rico. You're right there. That could be really good for streaking. Could be really good for streaking. Is under 23 maybe a bit of a cheat code? Top 100 get 1,000 or more essence. Also, there's going to be a lot less entries in it. Scores are generally lower, less of a player availability, like team selection wise, variety wise. For me, and I think for all you guys on the channel, the number one thing we're thinking about is the same as last season, rapid essence acquisition. We want to get essence rapid early this season. I probably will be going in on early access Celtic, no doubt. And maybe a wee SPFL guy here or there too, as I mentioned with content and whatnot before. But I think outside of that, my first thoughts are I'll be kind of similar to the strategy I ran last year, that I'll let the champion essence decide what league I move into and how fast I get into it. I don't know if I'll be picking up any of these. Holland and Belgium could be kind of half alright because they might go under the radar a wee bit, just being like yesterday's news. They've been on Sorare for so long. The prize pools are good. Like, I feel very deflated because I just feel like something was meant to be that wasn't. But a lot of the numbers are actually all right looking at this, especially if you're playing Belgium. Again, we were chatting earlier about the whole set versus pro dynamic. And with the champion leagues, that's a real difficult decision to make, or a conversation to have. Like, how good could you be? And all the rest of it. How big do you need your team to be? How much money do you need to spend on a lineup or on a squad build? But Belgium, Holland, and Portugal, as Rico Man's alluding to here, and probably Scotland, they don't quite have that same premium. So if you're not a champ boy or girl, Hearts are getting a new goalkeeper. I've not got to Scottish stuff yet. I'll do that after this. I've still got Scottish Football Daily to do. So probably a good time to say this for all the Sorare managers that catch this video. But I've started a new channel 6 weeks ago called Scottish Football Daily. Guess what that's about? And you'll find it anywhere. Just search it up, drop me a wee follow and a sub. Daily content Monday to Friday. At the moment, it's just transfer developments and squad reviews, that kind of thing. But yeah, I was expecting something in this to get me off my seat. I was expecting, and I don't know if it's Saudi would have got me off my seat or anything, but see if they added Saudi in and it had some spicy like streaks, because Saudi, we imagine to be a mad scoring freak machine, like you could really build a fantasy team in it. Like that would have added a little bit of spice into the announcement, wouldn't it? It just feels like this had subtractions rather than additions in it. Is really where I guess I probably rest on it. Happy SPFL's got a thing. Championship's cool. Licenses or whatever. Like, I love Sorare having licenses. They clearly love it too. And I'm sure they'll be doing everything to get all the guys back. But even just the region construction again just doesn't sit. It doesn't sit with me perfect. See with Essence from 26, can I use it to win? Yes, you can use it on anything, Michael, but it'll just be diluted. So we had I'll go and get the announcement back up because it was in there somewhere. It was a thing we could click on for it. Essence conversion here. So I've got 1,000 now, yeah? 1,000. Stays the same. So if you don't have much, you're all right. But the more you get, the more it goes down. So if you don't have much, I've not got much. I've got 1,000 sitting there. And maybe we get a few more. It'll convert straight over. It won't change in that sense. For me anyway, with my wee 1,000 essence thing get going. But the crafts are all more expensive this year. There's more essence for clues. Like crafting house, but a good craft's like 4,000 essence. I think is what you need to spend, like maybe 2,000 to craft and 2,000 for a clue or something like that. Or is it maybe 3,000? I don't know. But if you want to be able to have one good craft out the gate, now they won't even be loaded in until there's a match day or two went, I think, anyway. Or one match day, maybe. If you want to have a good craft, like one good craft, man, you're going to need like 10,000 essence right now. Yeah, Graham's nailed it. Good luck with getting your seat at the pub, Joshy boy. Oh, it doesn't factor Global Cup essence. Yeah, I think I've got a little bit of that myself. So if you do have essence that you got from hot streaking, in the Global Cup. That's 27 essence. It will not be touched. It will not dilute. So as soon as the players are available, if we go to crafting, rules and eligibility, available competitions, like they'll update this in shortly enough, you know, when they get to maybe the 20th of July is when they said. So they'll clean out everyone that's not here anymore. And then you'll be watching this all the time to see when players are added before you can craft. That was the way it went last year. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know when, but it's quite safe to assume it's normally a week after. It's normally once there's a game or two went, because they want people to win essence and craft, you know. So it's normally, you know, what did they do last year for early access? Was it maybe like 10 auctions out the spin to get the price adjustment, and then they get the tiering of the prices, and then they want people to win the essence and use them, so they kind of delay it out so more people buy cards because they don't have cards to win to use. So I'd say within a game or two. I think Scotland might be the first league it kicks off. Scotland kicks off on the 3rd of August or whatever it is, the first weekend of the season, or the first week of August. And I think because it comes out on early access first, it's probably the case. Maybe Croatia plays the same weekend, but Scotland is like, Scotland starts in 2 weeks. It's like 31st of July, that weekend. Yeah, Friday 31st of July, Dundee United play Rangers. Saturday 1st of August, Sunday 2nd of August, and then Monday the 3rd of August. That's match day 1, which is right around the corner. It's a week before, a week after the launch comes out. What's Croatia looking like? Can we go and check that? Because that's quite early up on early access too. Croatia's a wee funny one. It's in that region, so maybe it's Bundesliga 2 is maybe a wee bit OP in that region. Oh no, this is a bloody country, Croatia. Ignore me. Same weekend, but they all play at once. Or maybe there's still to be ironed out the kickoff times. Austria the same as well. Yeah. So Austria, Scotland, Croatia all come back together. Belgium's normally kind of early, but they've changed their league structure. 7th of August for them now. And their league now has 18 teams in it. That's a big increase, and that's why Sorare has bridged Belgium to Eredivisie, because they now have the similar amount of clubs. So Belgium really going for it here, growing up their division. So yeah, they're the week after. More leagues on the 7th, yeah. Jimmy's. So yeah, I'm probably going to hit early access SPFL. It's mainly down to football fandom, I would say. Also a wee bit of content and whatnot. 2 steps of essence is a bit minging. The boosts are alright, but again, it's limited essence. So, and that's going to be a really interesting part of all this as well, is when early access comes out, is there's no need to buy rares. No need. Really, when it comes to SPFL, outside of the big 3, pardon the expression at this point, the top 3 from last year, I'm not sure many of them have got a realistic shot in that region. I think the J League is kind of funny as well, by the way. J League could be sneaky good. I just think the J League is just always a funny league for transfers and stuff. So they start on the 7th of August as well. They changed the amount of clubs they have. 20. That feels Feels like more. It's not. Okay. Well, I'm 2. Well done, Rix. Yeah. It's not as much, the carrot for rare for historical price points is hard to justify, isn't it? So that will be a really interesting dynamic. I'm probably going to stay focused on in-season rares when they come out because I'm a bit of a snob that way, maybe is the way to think of it. I don't know. But I kind of, number one, want to win maximum at every opportunity. And I don't want to collect limiteds. Really, is what it comes down to. I just don't want to collect limiteds. Now, I'm going to have to deal with limiteds in my life because competitively, I'm going to be needing in-season ones that I'm going to craft before this limited essence I'm going to get from streaking, allegedly. So I will have limited and rare, so it's a funny one. Classic rares now add to the prize boost, yeah. Yeah, rare, like, if you're going to do, like, St. Johnson, we were chatting about that the other day, weren't we? If you're going to do St. Johnson, rare's probably better than limited, isn't it? You'll just get, the prices probably won't be much different, really. You're talking probably like 50p probably between them. So, yeah, that's a good point. Well, those smaller stacks that aren't looking for those incremental wins, small and frequent, you probably want them at rare because you'll just get more when you win. That makes sense, Rico. That's a great shout. I'm so hyped for Willem too. Love that, Rix. I can buy Sorare cards again for them and doing an RTG. Any good tips? Yeah. I don't know about Willem 2 specifically, right? But when you're doing that type of thing, make sure you get the goalkeeper and the best player you can as quick as you can, is what I would say. And similar to what someone brought up before, even though you're going to play with your team, know what your team is bad at. So, like, maybe you've not got a mid that can break 60 on AA, or maybe you've not got a mid that does decisives, whatever. Get that somewhere else quickly, is what I would say. Because no stack has everything. Even the best stacks. Like, I remember it's one of my favourite sayings that used to come out of PSU. It was like the best PSG stack had Kimmich in it. That kind of thing. So, yeah, whatever they don't have, maybe the goalkeeper sucks, whatever. Identify that and sort it. AI shirts, yeah. No need, Quinny. Yeah. I get you. I just don't get this region. I just kind of get away from why this would be contender at rare and limited, but rest of the world it's super rare and unique. Not the name difference mainly, but the composition difference of who's in it. Now you have to imagine, let's fast forward a wee bit. Let's say they get Turkey and Denmark back or something like that. They're going to drop in here, aren't they? Because they're not going to just wake up with their own league competition 3 games into the season, halfway through the season, whatever it ends up becoming. So if that is legit, that still might happen, but they've not announced it today because they need to tell us today, because they need to tell us about SPFL. They need to tell us about these leagues that are starting. So today, again, we were chatting before about the announcement stuff. I suppose this is a good point to kind of rehash, but if they didn't have to get stuff out before SPFL, Croatia and Austria, and they could wait another week, would they be able to, maybe Turkey would be in the announcement? I'm kind of open to that maybe still being the case or happening, because it's what they say in the announcement here. So I get they're maybe against a few different conflicting forces here. Like, they have to tell us early enough for certain reasons. They can only tell some stuff at certain points, yada, yada. I get all of that. But maybe that's something as well we could expect to see. Maybe once we get halfway through August or into September, perhaps, that Turkey's back and they're in rest of the world or contender. The Prem is going to be Pro Evo rather than FIFA. Totally, Ian. And what does that do to Prem prices? Because Prem is traditionally the best cards to win, the most expensive cards to buy, and the biggest prize pools available to win. Now, they still have the biggest prize pools available to win, as Sorare mentioned before. I'm just going to try and find them up on screen again, just to demonstrate it. Here we go. Arena. Oh, that's a boost. Will people pay for a London North or Red London or whoever the big stacks are going to be? I don't think City will be that great this year, stacky-wise. Maybe they will be. But yeah, the Prem's in a weird place as well. Iraola at Liverpool. Glasner at Forest is kind of funky in its own way. So on and so forth. You know, the league, Xabi Alonso at Chelsea. Premier League is weird, man. Outside of Sorare as well, so we'll be interested. There might be some mad money to be made in the Premier League for how up in the air it is. And then if they are like Pro Evo cards, which we're all talking about, and there's a wee bit of maybe disdain towards them in the market, nothing is going to be an absolute, I think, you know. What's new, Quinny boy? Kinda nothing. XD, that's where my main, like, disappointing tone kind of comes from. It's kind of like nothing. Where we're waiting this whole time, kind of for nothing. Championship's cool. Portugal's a kind of question mark. Like, what? Prem could be still all shadow cards and they'll still sell. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Oh, they will sell, but I'm not sure they'll get the same price point as before. But again, even if that was to happen for like a few auctions, I think the market would recognise that and come calling and probably self-correct. So it's probably one of those kind of, you know, vicious circles or self-fulfilling prophecies of sorts, the way it could shake out, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Where to go from here? Yeah, I think for myself, like my main strategies are kind of unaltered. I'm going to be mainly looking at getting in on, I forgot about those guys last night. I'm mainly looking to get in on rapid essence capture for me. Got a few guys for sale. I don't think there's anyone else I would sell now on top of what I've got here. Did I watch the Celtic game? No, I listened to Ryan's watch along on and off. I went and seen some pals, went out and got some sunshine about me. I heard bits of, I heard like, probably say Ryan was on for 2 hours. I probably heard like 40 minutes of Ryan. And then I went and listened to Paul John, but Paul John was on for 2 hours or something. So I listened to like the last half an hour, 40 minutes or so. So I was actually planning on going live doing Celtic stuff tonight. I've got Scottish stuff to do as well. We've got England v Tina as well. I'll maybe do Celtic in the morning, because otherwise it's just talking and bitching about the friendly. The West Ham developments, I don't know. We'll work it out. Definitely got Scottish stuff to do after this. And yeah, I don't know. I just expected more. I expected more. Every year, Sorare's kind of stepped forward. This doesn't feel like a step forward. It feels like a sideways step, you know, a little. Vault Ronaldo. Yeah. Good shout, because, yeah, there is no Saudi. That was my. I want a Ronaldo #1, but I had a wee Saudi hunch on him. Good shout. I think I played him in one game. I didn't play him at all. 30 quid, fuck it. Way better than the 300 quid he's been going for in recent times. I know he was bad in that World Cup, but Portugal Ronaldo, we're fine with that. Oh, yeah. Losing Prem rights is a step backwards. Yeah, I would go along with that. I don't think it's quite at lost. Still in negotiation is the way I read it. Yeah, we can go back to win Prem again. That'll be fun. Serie A still going? Yeah, no news of Serie A. No Turkey, XDRI. No Turkey. No Denmark. English Championship is on. Portugal gets more teams in the league, and the league gets its own competition. Belgium's had a buff because Belgium's up to 18 teams in the division this year. That's the kind of the punchlines. Sporting Smack. I heard the first goal was like the guy ripped us for pace, and then I went and checked who scored, and it was Catamo or something. I was like, yeah, he's going to rip anyone for pace, isn't he? So yeah, I think I kind of get away from, as much as I've got some disappointment around this. I think there will be disappointment around it. It does always just open up opportunity for Sorare. So I don't want to say like this won't happen or this won't be good, because when auctions come out, prices dictate everything. If people are cheap enough, then it's worth it, because the prize pools are still pretty significant here. I don't think I've got any issue with the prize pools. I think the prize pools are really pretty solid, to be honest with you. They've cleaned that rare thing up, which was fine. We were expecting new leagues and we've not got them. I feel like a kid at Christmas has opened up empty parcels. That's kind of how I feel, I suppose. You spent less on his rare than I did his limited. Result. Makes me feel a bit better. Yeah, why wouldn't they do the shadow players for Serie A? Or not shadow players, but legal. Yeah, because it's through the FIFA Pro license that they used for the World Cup. Why wouldn't they do Serie A? That's a good point, Rob. Maybe because Serie A is like in the works and they just want it proper rather than fake. Imagine they did do it on and they had like 5 cards of like Naples blue and Milan blue and Milan red, and then it's like Serie A's here, and they could do it for real. So that's the only thing I would say, Rob, is maybe why not? That's a good point you raise. Very good point. Yeah, I'm just trying to think strategy-wise or legacy-wise for all of us. Like, is there anything important to know? I guess like one of those things I said before, I'll probably try and have a wee look at in the market here right now, but limited classic keepers, there's not really much of a deterrent to owning them versus rare. I know you get a wee prize boost or whatever, but I don't really think that's enough. Tournament. Like Pandur, the Rangers keeper, for £6 feels pretty good value. Mitov at 69p. I've got Mitov. I've got a lot of goalkeepers actually in the SPFL, don't I? Celtic are still in the hunt for a keeper, so I'm still a bit coy on maxing out on Sinisalo. And Misa's back. Yeah, I'm not too sure when I'm mad rush to action that, but there's no real change on that front, I think. Although there is a difference now, so there is a material difference that we can point and look at and go, there is a reason to buy rares, but I think if you're on I think if for any of us here, you're not running into the market and stocking up on rare classic goalkeepers, I think limited will still be the way you go, because the 5 to 10% reward bonus, like what are we talking about here? And let's be real for a second again. Where the fudge is the... If you're on a big streak, it's also going to scale up because it's a percentage-based thing, right? But let's look at... Do I pick one of the big leagues because they're maybe a wee bit OP? Scottish league's maybe a wee bit too far down. We maybe look at like Belgium or something, Holland. They were in the last announcement, weren't they? Oh, all my screens are all over the place. Ah, here we go. I think I'm on the same page again. But we're talking about 5% on 10. You're talking about 50p. It's a 50p difference of a payout. You're not spending an extra tenner on a rare for 50p payout. Yeah, we still play classics. That's I've got no problem with that. I just feel like something should have been here that isn't. I feel like the kid on Christmas that opened up empty boxes. That's kind of the feeling I have. Any cool Bundy 2 players? None that I've not got scouting in my head right now at all with XDI. In Bundy 2, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but there was definitely some guys who are channel members that were still right all over it with Magdeburg and a bunch of other teams like that last year. So we'll get back to members content very soon, and we'll get right scouting and right into the weeds. But maybe when you're at step 4 here, like an extra fiver, like you're okay, I'd spend an extra fiver to win an extra fiver on this occasion, and then every entry of that rare keeper is then an extra 5% thereafter. It's all gravy. Fine. I just don't really see the real incentive to buy a rare keeper. Classic. So though it adds into the total stacking up of the reward payout, I don't think it makes sense. Not that it doesn't make sense. I don't think it does the job. The job is to give credible value to rare classics in the situation, and it's a token gesture, I think. Satoshi Tanaka, he's transferred though, didn't he? To Schalke. Heidenheim as well. The better ones are the guys that got relegated. That's a great point, Rico, man. Or maybe that's what XD meant, because Bundesliga 2 might be quite cheat code in that region. I think that might be what XD meant. Relegated Bundesliga guys. This is a fun strategy topic already, isn't it? Relegated Bundesliga guys that can dominate Contender or whatever it's called. Again, like, when is the point of having a rare classic outfielder or goalkeeper? The top step only is the only one that kind of makes sense, to be honest with you. Like, again, if you're a 50 quid with a limited setup, you're not getting the rare in for the extra little £2.50 or whatever. Nice. Yeah, it did work out nicely. You got him from Leicester, didn't you, when they got relegated out, and then he's went to Stuttgart and been a bit of a player for you. That's a good one. Yeah, I wonder if they'll take feedback on board and make any further adjustments. I think the best Contender team will be Dynamo stack with a Teak and Classic Bream. Dynamo who? Oh, Zagreb. Go Zagreb with Bream and a Teak. Oh yeah, Vasil just went to Saudi and we don't have Saudi. That's another pain in my butt. Yeah, Zagreb. Yeah, you're probably right there. Should dominate the division typically. And yeah, they do miss a bit of something. So Classic Bream and stuff like that could be very helpful. Fixture correlation shouldn't be too bad. It's probably something just to have a wee double check on. But yeah, it's probably quite all right for the most part. I've got them listed already. Yeah, it's not going to move. Now there's no Saudi League. I was hoping Saudi would be announced and somebody would just buy them. That's not going to happen. £5. Hardly worth it. We'll seal him away anyway. Goodbye, Vasily. Fabian Rees and Fraser Hornby have moved to Wolfsburg. Oh, Wolfsburg is a big relegation, by the way. The Mitchell so it's funny, Cammy, you mentioned that, right? So I seen Michael talking to somebody about the backer link, and my first response, Michael will tell you, I was like, this guy's more expensive than Sorare in every way. So I don't know why we would do that. But what dawned on me later is Mitchell Bakker is definitively a wing back, like 3-5-2 thing, you know? So if we are like actually interested in him, I could see it. I would guess it. You play him left wing back. You've got Tierney for centre back and Scales for centre back and whatever. And then you know you could use AJ as a wing back. We might not have him anymore, and that means you're maybe looking at Julian Araujo once more, which is why his name's maybe back in the frame. Who knows? So I wouldn't rule it out altogether. I do think it's a really weird link. Like Celtic are struggling to justify signing Sorare on money. I don't see how we sign Mitchell Bakker unless it's a loan with pure favourable wage options where we're paying him nothing. But I'm not sure that's the way Atalanta are going to play ball, to be honest with you. And keeping Bakker fit is also the problem. You say that again, buddy. Loves an injury. Good guy. Very good guy. Big guy. Big, like, freight train of a fullback. Got a bit of the Cancelos, a wee bit of the Poros about him in terms of stature. Obviously missing a wee bit of that quality, but he's a big unit of a fullback. I'm just kind of sitting looking at cards now. Like, I love my collection. I love all my cards. Don't think there's any situations that have really changed for anyone that makes me want to get rid or anything to that kind of tune. He just moved somewhere really good, didn't he? Yeah, Zenit. That'll be fun. Oh. Yeah. Paul Lopez has just signed for FC Andorra. Of course he has, man. Of course he has. Did you see West Ham want Hatate and Balikwisha? West Ham stay in the Prem. I would really struggle to believe that if West Ham stayed in the Prem. Did they go down in the end? I'm forgetting. Right, West Ham went down. I can see it. I can totally see it. So probably get a good deal off of Celtic. Maybe not quite a bulk discount, but I can see it. Yeah, La Liga 2 is decent for a wee Paul Lopez, isn't it? I still got mine. I think I do. Yeah, I do. Sweet. He could be a beast in La Liga 2. He scores pretty well. His problem is he's just not he's not elite level and he gets dropped a lot. But he can put some scores in. It's fair play to him. Macaulay Tate from Hearts. I've seen that earlier, actually. I've not got into the bonnet with it. Aberdeen got a new goalkeeper as well. Nice. I'll get across that. Oh, is that the England team out? Do a wee bit of colours? Oh, I'm not sure. I think I ruined the shot my load last night. Back to the beginning. Got a Tina team here. Have I got 2 Emmys? I think I'm only playing Tina in this game. Sorry, lads. Right, let's just go with 2. Are the teams out? Argentina. I did the one Essence Pack thing earlier. Doesn't look like the team sheet's out for Tina yet. I'll check in on all this later. Ay, caramba. Aye, we've got that game kicking off in just over an hour. Looking forward to it. I think I'll probably come back tomorrow and maybe try and revisit everything a bit cleanly. See, I was expecting hype. I was expecting excitement. RDP dropped for Simeone. How have you got the team? Graham's got the team. How? Emi, Molina, Taglia, Martinez, Romero, Simeone, Julian, Messi. I've got Romero on the other team. Who were the fullbacks? Molina, Tagliafico. Lot of good versions of them, so I'll just go with Lisandro. And then midfield is Paredes, yeah. And then I don't have a second Messi, but I do have Julian. Don't think I'm playing Simeone. I might just play Romero. Play double defence on this. Play Enzo. Or Ali Mac, 10%. Let's put that in for some fun. Captain Spider-Man. It's for 260 points. I don't really, not really too worried about us hitting it or not. We've got the Sorare teams. We've got big bonus cards on the main team. So just put them in. I wonder why this is all pure crushed up. There we go. Sorted. Awesome. Hi guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching this after we're live, leave some comments. We'll be back probably tomorrow to pick up the pieces and when the dust is settled, kind of, yeah, see where we're at. Get going with everything. Have a good one. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the game if you're going to watch it. Stay out of trouble. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.